Hello, hello. I'm the official name reader. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today, we're looking at Rufflet and Braviary. That was, for whatever reason, difficult to say. Google had an update. Look, it's got a rounded rectangle instead of a regular rectangle. And in case you didn't know, I asked you guys months ago, should we cover this in Galler or Unova? And an overwhelming percentage of you did vote Galler, so we will not be covering Hisui and Braviary at all in this episode. Okay, so before going into the one I actually want to go on, let's look at this one. Okay, we got it. America! Fuck yeah! And then right here at the bottom, it's also there. If you didn't see that coming, I don't know what to tell you because it's insanely obvious. So, expect a lot of Americas. I don't disagree with the name. I get it. It's fine. It's just, it is going to be brought up a lot. So if you want that nickname, cool, you got it. You can leave the video unless you decide you want to enjoy me talking about other shit. But that is a very popular one. And now going on to Guile, which is going to be related to the America as well. I like this. I mean, again, I don't Street Fighter. But if he's Major in the Air Force, then that's at least a cool way of tying in the flying type with the America, with also being a little bit different. I also think, I guess it wouldn't work. I was going to say Star Raptor because fighting close combat, but the whole point is Braviary being the America Pokemon. Patriot was actually one I was legitimately thinking about 3 seconds ago as I was scrolling down. I was like, what else could work for America? And Patriot came to mind. So I guess if you want to do that, there's another idea for you. Same vein. And then Liberty also works. And I know we've seen Liberty in the past before. I want to say Bronzong was one. And then I feel like there was something else that was used for it. I don't remember, but it's also going to be a heavily associated word with the United States. I guess Washington could also work for more America fuck yeah based nicknames because there's another word that's going to be heavily associated with the US. Captain Falcon or Captain America. Captain America is going to work in the same vein. Captain Falcon, I mean, it's an eagle, not a falcon. But you tried! So, we'll accept those. Do people associate Captain Falcon with the US? That's a good question. Where's Captain Falcon from? Hold on. He's not from this planet! Why am I even thinking about Googling that? So, we have seen a bunch of things that's just America fuck yeah so far. And I guess, I don't know. Should we give him credit for not doing that? We can, but he also didn't exactly do much of anything worth anything at all. Warrior is a very boring nickname that's as simple and bland as you could get. It has nothing to do with anything. Sky and Skylar. Those are also incredibly boring and bland and just nothing to do with anything. Bravado. Now, thankfully he doesn't think that he made up the word bravado as a combination of brave and something else. He recognizes that it's a word, so I mean, I suppose if you wanted to, you could use the Binding of Isaac Bayonetta style. I don't know, that word doesn't really click with me, but I just think it's like, I don't know, you have a Pokemon with a clear motif and a clear identity, and he strays away from that. So that's not necessarily bad, but I definitely feel like even if you leaned into that, it still would have been, anything would have been much better than what he put. You could have just put freedom, and I at least would have understood it. There's nothing here to understand. There's nothing here at all. I want you guys to see this real quick. This isn't the same guy I've seen before that I've been deliberately avoiding because he has nothing to say. This is somebody different. And I'm not even actually convinced it's a person. I'm beginning to think they're just bots and this is just a fake website or something. I don't know. I don't even think it's the same website. Regardless, 200 cool and cute names. And then the very second one is Boo Loon. Like, what the fuck? McNugget, I can at least understand. I'm like, okay, that's worth talking about. We see this frequently with things like other birds or Blaziken or something like that. Like, that's fine, I get it. But then you go to Balloon, and then you're like, well, that's a Driftbloom. Where did you copy and paste this from? And then Steve Rogers, like, that makes sense. That seems like that's, you know, a human. Bunny Braviary. Braviary Gagnon? Daniel Braviary? Braviary Olivia? Like, it devolves. And it keeps going. And my favorite bit, get some feedback and suggestions. Now that you've embarrassed yourself by even considering any of these, why not tell people that you've thought about this and ask them for their opinions too? Ask your friends, what do you think is a great nickname for a Braviary? Do you think Balloon is one? What about Braviary Olivia? Never mind the fact that it won't fit. Ask your parents. They'll judge you. Thirsty neighbor? Yeah, vigilant raccoon. Pesky custard. Edible vaccination. I really like thirsty neighbor. Now here's another one that I don't think a lot of people would get, but I get, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, damn, character limit. They're saying Colbert, it says Colbert, but he pronounces it Colbert, because the man decided how he wants to be his own fucking name to be. Stephen Colbert, he used to have his own little show, what was it? The Colbert Report, and he's still going on doing his own thing. I think he does on YouTube. But Stephen Colbert is a satire comedian, usually poking fun at politics, and part of me honestly thinks he's probably smarter than most of the actual politicians out there, and maybe he wouldn't do the worst. I don't know. But his intro always had, you know, eagle in it and America and stuff like that. So on the long side of America, fuck yeah, there's an idea for you. Again, I don't expect a lot of people to get this, but it's an idea. I'll highlight this one just because I have a feeling it might be a comment suggestion or something someone put down anyway. Whether or not I agree with it, I don't know. But I looked at it and I'm like, okay. I just don't know if I really like the name Storm Eagle best. But as a Mega Man thing, if that's your dig, sure. Democracy is another America fuck yeah kind of thing if you want. I personally think that's probably one of the most boring out of the ones we've seen, but it's an idea. Justice is another idea. I just thought one of that off right off the dome. Okay, so we reached the bottom, and it literally was just America fuck yeah and nothing else. And I do feel like this is a little bit of a disappointment because I feel like there's better other options you could lean in. So if you weren't a fan of America fuck yeah, well, the internet didn't know what else to come up with. So I want to end with the spreadsheet. I did see Tomahawk before, and we talked about that in the Zatu episode. I mean, it's not bad, it's just, I don't know. I feel like it fit Zatu better because at least Zatu had more of a native feel opposed to Braviary, not at all leaning into that, and it just bird, that's where it ends, so no. America Burger's done. Ruffles, I mean, Rufflet, that's at least close, I guess. Surprisingly, we don't have any comment suggestions. Anyway, things that I have written down from, I don't know, just my own brain or what was suggested to me, because my brother suggested this one. Masamune, because of Pokemon Conquest. And you remember how I was saying, like, in the trailer videos to be like, oh, you know, think about music that could be associated with this. And I mean, I don't know Pokemon Conquest at all. I don't know any of the spin-offs from, like, Gen 4 or 5 at all. So how associated this is, I'm going to trust him because he likes this game and constantly pressures me to play it. And yeah, so they're associated with Rufflet and Braviary. Cool. The only thing about that name is, I don't know, it just feels like, what's the nicest way of saying generic Japanese thing that'll probably get blended with anything else? Because I don't know if they're, like, I feel like that name just feels like it would probably get lost easily because there's probably a bunch of things Japanese associated with that. So, other ideas though, I've thought about Dynablade, Kirby Superstar, and when I think about who fits Dynablade best, I feel like Braviary is kind of the perfect choice. So that's one thing about the whole America thing that kind of bothers me, is because it's like you're stifling yourself on creativity because there's other names you could, other directions you could go in even, but you're so fixated on that one trait that, like, I feel like it's going to overshadow Dynablade, and no one's ever going to give Dynablade that light. And then it comes down to, well, who else could you give Dynablade to? Now that we've got Hisui and Braviary, maybe I'll use Dynablade for that. Another idea I've thought about, Helmarock King from Wind Waker. There's another one that's pretty good, but again, it's going to be overshadowed by the loud America fuck yeah. And the one I personally use is Eerie from Banjo-Kazooie. Eerie, I've spent my entire life saying Eerie, you can't correct me now, it is 25 years too late. But yeah, no, I always loved Eerie for whatever stupid reason. So, and the name and the way it makes the noises when it talks, so that's just what I go with, and I like that, and at least I can say I'm different. So there's that. But I'm sure there's probably some other fictitious eagles or whatever you could go with. Hold on a second. I literally said the word eagles and then started thinking about Hotel California. And I think that's a little bit too long of a nickname, but it would be a funny nickname to call your Braviary Hotel California because it's by the Eagles. That one's free, if you can find a way to make it work. But yeah, you could also pick a song by the Eagles if you wanted to. There's a new, different idea for you. In other words, any other ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones you think are good. I don't have a problem with the America thing. It's okay, it's fine. It's just literally beaten to death, as we've seen nothing but this entire episode. So if you've got something different, congrats, you're original.